The Gestapo, Nazi secret police, 1933 to 1945. When Adolf Hitler took control of Germany in 1933, he made prominent Nazi and Inner Circle member Hermann Göring Minister of the Interior in Prussia, the largest and most influential state in the country. Göring was a decorated veteran of the First World War, having been considered an ace fighter pilot for the Imperial German Air Force, as well as an important Nazi figure. Both of these factors led to his appointment. Now in charge, Göring made sure that his Prussian police forces were rid of Jews, communists, and other undesirable people. With Nazis now in its ranks and in its control, the Prussian police was given the name Geheime Staatspolizei, or simply the Gestapo, meaning secret state police. However, Göring's tenure as head of the Gestapo would be relatively short, as he gave control of the organization to head of the SS, Reichsfuhrer Heinrich Himmler, in April of 1934. Himmler would then name Reinhard Heydrich the director of the Gestapo on the 22nd of April, 1934. Now established, the Gestapo was terrifying. Under the control of Heydrich and ultimately the SS, the Gestapo would gather unbelievable amounts of information on enemies. This information was obtained through common intelligence gathering methods like interrogations. However, the introduction of the wiretap would provide the Gestapo with a relatively new and unique way to spy on people and gather a ton of information. The investigations and intelligence gathering did not cease at the enemies of the government, however, as the Gestapo was pretty much always spying on regular German people and society altogether. The Gestapo would also investigate the populations of countries that the Germans had conquered, meaning that tens of millions of people were subject to spying and privacy invasions at the hands of the Gestapo. Those unfortunate enough to be suspected of either conspiring or acting against the state were harshly suppressed and quickly and firmly dealt with. At this point, members of the Gestapo could go around and arrest effectively anyone who could have the slightest bit connection to something anti-Nazi and could interrogate them, imprison them, or even kill them if they wanted to. This policy would extend to Nazi-occupied foreign lands, as any resistance would be met with overwhelming retaliation. The Gestapo would also play key roles in the many war crimes and atrocities committed by the Nazis throughout the pre- and active war years. As the Second World War raged on and the situation looked worse and worse for Nazi Germany, the Gestapo followed suit. When the war ended in 1945 and the Allies came out victorious, the Gestapo was disbanded almost immediately after the German surrender. Many high-ranking Gestapo officials would be captured and be tried as war criminals, and some would evade capture and go back to normal life after the war's end. However, some Gestapo leaders, along with other prominent SS and Nazi higher-ups, would evade capture by escaping to South America, among other places where they would assume new lives and identities. The people most notably associated with the Gestapo, the aforementioned Göring, Himmler, and Heydrich, would all die within a year after the war's end. Göring and Himmler would both take cyanide while in custody in October 1946 and May 1945, respectively. Heydrich would die in June 1942, shortly after he was attacked in Czechoslovakia as part of Operation Anthropoid. The Gestapo will go down in history as one of the more infamous Nazi groups and one surrounded by the worst of humanity. Thanks for watching.